Hey you guys, I'm Momma T, and today we're going to be doing something very special to my heart. We're going to be doing my mother's very own silver dollar baked beans, you guys. Just a little spin and a tip on it. You know, like I said, this smacker style, we smack these recipes with a little extra here and there. So you guys, smack the squad, and anyone out there that's watching, come with me over to the other side as we smack these baked beans. And I'm doing this because you guys, 4th of July is coming up, and you know, you might want to take some baked beans to the cookout or have something to add on to whatever's going on. Or if you're giving a cookout, just put a little something extra in your baked beans, you guys. I want y'all to come on to the other side as we change the whole consistencies of what we used to call as kids beans and franks, you guys. So we're going to be going over here to the other side, and we're just going to get a sneak preview of what I'm going to be putting in these baked beans, you guys. Let's head over. Okay, you guys. So we dropped one. We lost the soldier. We have some beef and pork kielbasa, which has a excellent flavor, you guys. And I got this from Sam's. It came in a roll, and I just sliced it up, and that's why I call them my silver dollar, because they're like around the size of a silver dollar. We have a cup and a half of granulated sugar, you guys. And you guys, normally I use brown sugar for this, but this sugar will do. I've used both, and they both will do, but I preferably like brown sugar because it gives a darker color. I have bushes. Now, you can do these with any type of bean of your liking and your choice. Why? Because it's your business. But I like bushes because it tend to have a firmer hold, I think, in the texture. So I have 2 medium-sized cans, and you guys, I bought some beans, but maybe the children ate them while I didn't look and check the pantry. But I'm going to make this recipe anyway because I'm going to do what a good cook do. So I'm going to use some pork and beans mixed in, and I'm going to use a chili bean mixed in. But it's not going to much matter because I'm adding so much to this recipe. I'm turning this recipe, because I'm the cook and I'm the boss, I'm turning this into what I want it to taste like. I've already drained most of the syrup that it came in off, because I want to start with my own base. So I kind of drained like all that excess syrup off the beans, because we want to start and make our own canvas. That's what cooking is all about. So we have a lot of things down here. We're going to start off by using ground beef, and we're going to season our ground beef like we always do with my regular seasonings, you guys. We have onions, green peppers already chopped that I took out the freezer, and we have mushrooms, you guys. So I'm putting all that in these beans. These beans are not like regular beans and franks. I call them my gourmet, my silver dollar gourmet beans, you know, that my mother taught me how to cook. And I'm going to go over real quick what I'm going to be putting in the meat. Garlic, onion powder, accent, flavors up well. Season all-purpose seasoning. A little ground cinnamon, just a tad bit, and we will have a tad bit of cayenne pepper just to offset the sweet. For me, you guys, I like sweet and savory at the same time to balance. So you'll taste sweet, but you'll have a little savory in there. Now, if you have your family just like sweet and doesn't like savory, then you can omit the cayenne pepper out of this, and you can just use a regular pepper. So we're getting ready to get started with the meats and go over and prepare the meats. So just meet me on the other side, you guys. Stay with me because these beans are awesome. If anybody like baked beans at the cookout, you need to follow me because we're going to slap this recipe silly. Silly. Okay? Okay. Follow me. Hey. Okay, you guys, we're back. And I'm going to be using my Big Red. And I don't pull her out too often. But I pull her out for delicacies and sauces. And when you're not really having to cook on a high heat. So, I have some ground beef here, you guys. And working with COVID is not easy. So, I'm going to put on one side of the pan. Because although the pan is very big, my burner's on. So, until this pan heats up, it cooks from side to side. You do how you need to do. Okay, and on the other side of this pan, I'm going to put my green peppers and onions in. You guys. And these are frozen right out the freezer. So, if there's anyone out there who buy green peppers and onions and they go bad on them before they get to use them, I would suggest when you finish with your green pepper onion, cut them all up and put them in little, let me get the bag. I put them in baggies and I keep them in the freezer. And this way you do not waste none of your ingredients. Because years ago, I used to just let the rest go bad. But now that I cook, like all the time, I cannot afford to let any ingredients go bad. So you guys, on this half of the pan, we sauteed onions. On this half, on this half of the pan, it's gonna do nothing. But we preparing our ground beef to get ready for the beans. So while our ground beef is getting ready, we're just gonna go in and season this meat. We'll put a little garlic on the meat. And as I always tell my viewers, I am not a cook that cook by cups and this and that. So a quick tip is do it like dusting over your food. I never took time to do cups. Now when I bake, I have to use cups. But in cooking, you can spend a lot of time measuring stuff. And you really don't need to do it. You need to just lay your food out flat and go over it with each one. And I just use, this is onion powder, you guys. This is seasoned salt. And we're from Baltimore, Maryland, you guys. And most of us cook here. You know, some people have Lowry's or other staple seasonings. But this is seasoned salt. And I went in heavy with that because I like seasoning salt. And my family likes it. So, whatever you use as your staple seasoning at home, just use your staple seasoning. I'm just going and showing you how we do here, what our taste is like here. But you always can substitute what you know your family like. This is pepper, you guys. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of salt in this recipe because it really doesn't call for salt. And the seasoned salt, that's the name, so you know it has salt in it. So, as you can see, I didn't put any, I don't know why that was hot. This whole spoon hot. Oh. So, the pan is heating up, but really it's going to cook these onions and green peppers fast. And I'm going to keep it separated until it does. Because nobody wants, honestly, just not me. I don't really particularly care for so I put in here some more is mushrooms, and which once the mushrooms taste down, you won't even know they're there. For all the people say, I don't like mushrooms. You won't know they're there. You won't. It will actually take on all the flavors and be like a filler. So we're gonna fry and emulsify or saute, however you want to say it, and emulsify the green peppers and onion and get those flavors incorporated. And then we're going to fry our sausage and our beef in this very same pan. And I'm not going to hold on to you guys' time. What I'm going to do is saute these on down and brown the ground beef and add the sausage, fry the sausage in on this side. Keep this pan, just keep this side warming down and letting the seasoning go in. Cooking it slow and letting the season. And I'm just bringing this along how I want to. This is just my style right now because the pot is big enough. But honestly, you guys, you would just saute the green peppers and onions, and then we would add in the silver dollar, the pork and beef kielbasa like so, and fry that up. And see, when we frying this up, we could throw it in there all together, but then it goes back to that texture thing. I am a texture cook, so I'm going to pan sear my silver dollar kielbasa before I add those beans, and everything gonna be done and texturized. So that's how we're gonna do that right there. Now we just got this just heating up, but we really not concerned. We already have seasoned this meat, and we're not concerned with this right now. We frying this up. The green peppers and 50 silver dollar kielbasa. So we're going to get that fried up, y'all, and we're going to come back. Stay tuned while we smack up on this bean recipe, you guys, and take it to another level. Because that's what we do here on the Smackers. We make these recipes so you smack down on them. And we're going to smack this until she's silly. Okay? Okay. Okay, we back. And right here, as you can look down into this pan and see, we have our ground beef and our silver dollar kielbasa. Now this kielbasa is it's pork and beef, and I find this to have a very good taste to it, and I get it from Sam's here, but it's both. It's pork and beef, so it's going to give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I love my big reds because if it's anything saucy, so we kind of texturize the kielbasa. And we're going to add in our beans. Now, me preferably, like I said, I like Bush's texture bean. But because I didn't take inventory of my beans before I did this, I could not find a case of beans that I bought. So we're going to put 2 of these in there. And then I'm going to add in a chili bean and a pork and bean. Because we have to do what all good cooks have to do. And that is improvise. But for you guys out there, you could just use a big can of Bush's beans. If you're doing a large party, and make it work for you like that. So once these beans, we put on there everything that we gonna put on these beans, it's not even gonna matter, because we poured most of the sauce that was the preservatives and everything. We poured that off, already. And we're going to make our own recipe for this. So we're going to put in our sugar, because that's going to make its own syrup. We're going to put out our sugar. And this would normally be, you guys, brown sugar that I would add into this. And king syrup, I always say keep this, even if you don't like it on your pancakes. I do. I grew up off of this. But I buy like 3 different kinds of syrups. My kids like Miss Butterworth, another one like another one. But I keep this as a staple because you can use this for all different type of sauces, you guys. It's sweet and it's good. And I incorporate this into my bean mixture. Give it that dark light color along with that brown sugar. But we substituted and it's going to be just as good. I've been here before. And I normally have a lot of substitutes. And I'm putting this in. Mustard, you guys. That's the balancer of the sugar. And I'm going to just use, because I didn't have the brown sugar, just to bring it down in color and give it a little extra added flavor, I'm going to use some barbecue sauce. Not a lot of that because I'm not a barbecuey person. And I think that's it. And we're going to mix this in there. Get all this incorporated. And then after, we'll give it a taste. And if it need any more sweetener, I'll add some more syrup. And I'll add some more sugar. And we'll let the baked beans just bake on down. And some people put theirs in the oven. I don't really like the sticky texture that the oven makes. But if you truly want that, then you can take this pot. And it has the heat resistance, and I could put it in the oven. Me, I just preferably like to eat my beans just straight like this texture. And if you're going to reheat, like for cookouts or whatever, I wouldn't put it in the oven either. But that is definitely the base of this recipe. It's full of meat, beans, and you really have a whole meal here. You have mushrooms in here. You got everything. So let's get a little bowl and let me see what it needs, because I will have to taste it from here to see. Let's do a tasting. These beans are good, but we need more sugar. Definitely. I didn't use my whole amount because I like to taste as I go along. And you have this savory. It's not just sweet, because I don't like just sweet. You have this savory mixture where you have the savory on your palate, but you have a little tinge of sweet, and it's just good. The beans are good, and you can't tell the 3 different beans is in here because it just tastes like one bean when you put it in your mouth. So that was a good improvise. Since I'm tasting texture um, for being different, and you would not know I used 3 different types of beans. So, and I definitely, you can't even taste no barbecue sauce. I'm putting this in here, you guys, because I didn't use the brown sugar. I'm looking for color, presentation. So I'm adding in this the dark barbecue sauce to darken it, because I'm used to my beans being a little darker. The flavor is there, but I'm a person, I like all three. I like the way it looks, the texture, and the taste. You have mushrooms in here. And baby, I'm telling you, these beans ain't nothing but the truth. Oh my goodness. Baby. Mm, 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 mm. So that's what I'm talking about. Right there. Now we're going to try. We added in the sugar that time. I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of that. Because that was what was left in the bowl. And that was a 1.5 cups of sugar. But when you're watching the food tutorial, honestly, you guys, I could give you, I could sit up and measure a cup of this and a cup of that. But as a cook, and like I know that depending on how much you start off with, how many cans of beans, and you need to know and taste your food yourself. Because like I bought a big family pack of ground beef. You might be doing this for just your household, and you might only use 2 cans of beans. So you just need to start off, if you know you're doing it for a smaller amount, start off with a 1/2 cup of sugar. And if you're doing it a big pan like this, would do a pan, 1 pan of greens, a silver pan of greens, then you know you're going to do a 1.5 cups of sugar, or to your liking. And as far as the seasoning go, my trick is I just dust over the whole top part. So I know that that's an even amount for any dish that I'm making. I season and I dust over the whole pan, and I don't miss a spot. So when I mix it in, it's covered. So that's how I do that. Because you don't want to get, as a cook, you guys, you don't want to get stuck on cups of this and a 1/2 cup of that. You'll be in the kitchen all day measuring stuff like that. As a cook, you need to know how to alter your food as the food size alter. If I made 3 pans of this, I couldn't just go put a cup in here. I have to literally eyeball it and know. And whether you're going to take the sugar and just go like this over the whole palette, then you know. So that's what I'm doing. Because I could tell you a 1/4 cup of this or a 1/4 cup of that. But if you're not using the exact poundage of ground beef and the exact poundage of sausage, you're going to get lost. It's simple. Because every time I cook, my stuff change. I might be cooking just for me. I might have wanted to open a can of beans. I might be a single person and never make a whole pot of this. So what you would do as a can of this, you would start off with. Okay, you guys, so I finished these beans, and you can bake them in the oven if you want, just to get a little tighter consistency. For me, this is the way I like my beans. And if you're taking them to a cookout, you can put them in the oven to get that look or whatever. But these beans are just right. And I also wanted to add it when I taste them. I put in here the Kickin' Sweet Baby Ray's, the Kickin' Bourbon sauce. I added that at the end. So I just felt like to me it needed something else. And I was just here, you guys, tasting these beans. And baby, baby, people who say they don't like beans and franks, baby, they need to taste these gourmet beans. And they gourmet because we put in here, we went the extra mile. And that's what Momma T is all about. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Share me with somebody. Do your end of the bargain, you guys. And like I always say, when I knock it out the ballpark, I say, not Mama Mia, but Momma T. And God bless each and every household with some good food, some good eats, and some good company, you guys. And watch me just mukbang this down. Oh my God. Like instantly. And I just threw these mushrooms in here. You can't taste them, but you can taste them. Ha ha. When I tell you, these things, baby, your kids will love to eat these. So, use whatever you have in your cabinet, because as you can see, a good cook got to improvise. We use 3 different types of beans, you guys. But guess what? One taste. They melt in your mouth. Baby. I ate already. I'm doing this mukbang for this. Oh, baby, this is good. Undeniable. The best beans I ever had. I ain't gonna lie to you. And if you take this to the cookout, baby, it's gonna be a hit. They gonna look for you. They gonna say, who made these beans, baby? I stuck my foot up in these beans. Okay. Okay. They are smack delicious, good, undeniable. Trust me, hit you to your soul. Okay. And I have these lunch containers because I'm just going to put these in containers and put them in the freezer, you guys. And when I come home from work, don't feel like cooking, baby, I'm going to have me a home cooked meal because this reheat off the chain. This is one of the foods that you reheat and it's better than the first time because the food then just marinated all the way through. But I don't see possibly how this going to be better than the first time because, baby, I sucks my foot up in there. So until next time, you guys, cooking with Momma T, I'm going to see you next time. Okay? Okay.